Good morning. I'm investment newsletter writer and economist Woody O'Brien. It is May the 29th, 2014. Welcome back to another beautiful day here at the Promised Land Farm. I haven't made a video in a while, but I've been motivated by a question that people seem to be asking me when I'm out and about in the eastern West Virginia area. A lot of preppers here, a lot of people who are really getting prepared for dollar collapse. That's very, very good because still the mother of all crashes is coming. And when it gets here, the only thing that's going to matter is, are you ready? Not what caused it or what day it occurred. But I am getting this question from people going, I don't understand why collapse hasn't occurred yet. The ground is so fertile. There's thousands of things that can go wrong, from the Russians declaring a gold-backed ruble to the Chinese dumping our bonds, these bilateral trade agreements. There's no reason in the world why gold ought to be over $1,300 an ounce, and that the S&P 500 should be over 1,900 when you have literally a completely no-growth economy except for Tesla and fracking. And I think it's more of a puzzlement as to people kind of go, all the conditions exist, so why hasn't collapse occurred? And I think this is an important question for people to have answered in their mind, because there's a great frustration in the harder asset community, in the prepper community. You know, people have been telling others it's going to hit the fan at some point in time and you have to be ready, but yet it still hasn't happened yet. So what's the reason why? And it is a breathtakingly simple reason. And that is that the monetary criminals who have been in charge of this financial system globally, and especially in the US, in the past dozen years or so, are criminals of exceptional talent. Exceptional talent. Alan Greenspan, despite his beginnings with Ayn Rand and the gold standard, he became an exceptionally talented central bankster criminal. People hung on his every word and just thought he was a genius. Followed by Ben Bernanke, who literally was, in many ways, the Wayne Gretzky of counterfeiting and QE, and just unbelievably talented at kicking the can down the road, keeping markets levitated, enabling the banks to rape everyone and to suppress the price of basic commodities with naked shorting. Now Ben Bernanke is gone, and the question is, as more and more people around the world, more and more people in the US, are aware that collapse is inevitable, it's a mathematical certainty, that doesn't necessarily mean it's imminent. It's going to happen today or tomorrow, although it certainly could. The question is how talented of a criminal is this fake grandma, Janet Yellen? Is she as talented as Bernanke? Because if she's talented as Bernanke, we could still be several years away from a hyperinflationary dollar collapse or some kind of other economic catastrophe. If she's not as talented as Ben Bernanke, or the alternative, the Russians, Mr. Putin, very strong figure, very much believe that he wants to go down in history as the king of all communists, having collapsed the West without military capability. He has it in his hands to do that any day by declaring a gold-backed ruble. The Saudis are not so happy with us anymore, and the dollar standard for gold. So in many ways, we're at this moment where, like Carl Sagan used to say, that imagine a room immersed with gasoline and 200 people and everybody has a lighter. Eventually somebody's going to want to smoke and the whole room's going to go up. So there is this question of, in kind of a stable environment where somebody doesn't throw us under the bus, and you have to remember that almost happened when the Germans demanded their gold. But again, exceptionally talented criminal Bernanke figured out a way to spread that over years and to cause that from preventing a buying panic in gold. All these stories that you hear about bankers getting caught and paying big fines. Again, this is all a part of the criminality of how do we keep the current system floating as long as we can, and then at that bottom we shift gears and go long in the commodities, long to gold, and we let the hyperinflationary bomb go off. So the bottom line to this is, when you see that collapse absolutely should occur and that you're prepared and ready for it, hopefully, and it hasn't occurred, and people start to say, hey, where's that big implosion that you thought of? Remember, this is not just about the rest of the world and who's going to throw us under the bus and under what circumstance. It really goes to the question is, how talented of a counterfeiting QE criminal is Janet Yellen? As my old friend Ed Hart used to say on the Financial News Network 3 decades ago, we will know in the fullness of time. My advice to everyone is still prepare like it could be next week. Although it could be next year, it could be in a couple of years. Jim Rickards thinks we could go all the way to 2019 before it happens. When it does happen, it won't really matter who's right. The only thing that's going to matter in the life of you and your family is how prepared are you for that moment. Again, I'm Woody O'Brien, investment newsletter writer and economist. My website's woodyknowsmarkets.com is the investment newsletter website. And of course, my life's work to piss on the grave of the Federal Reserve System and the IMF and ECB and all those big central bankers. That website is www.abolishfiatslavery.com. Great to be with you again. Take care.